I wanted to give a quick overview on how I got the Elgato Stream Deck to control the microbit. So the first thing is the code that you're going to need on the microbit. So on start, I told it that I had some NeoPixels connected for this demonstration to P0. I told it I was going to redirect the serial communication through the USB cable connected on the microbit, and I set the baud rate to 115200, which by default I would already have this, but just to be explicit. In a forever loop, I am reading from the serial port any serial data that may have arrived, and I'm assigning to a variable called serial message, and then just continuously I do this over and over. So maybe a message comes in, maybe it doesn't, but if it ever does, in this little loop here, I check two different things. So I look for if the serial message includes an R, and this is arbitrary, I picked the letter R for record. Then I want you to put the NeoPixels to red and show this icon and clear the screen. You can do any code that you want in here. And then else if serial message includes an S for stop, then set them to black, or you could clear it however you like and show an X. So all of this is completely your choice, and you could keep adding more if statements, etc. So I've got them on here, and if you're looking for this block, it would be under text, and we have it here, includes, and that just makes it a little bit easier in case multiple characters come on here or other things. You can use the includes and it will search for the letter of your choice. So we're just using one simple letter. So this here, make sure that you're connected to the microbit, as it will need to be connected using web USB. So connect, you can see that mine is paired on here, and that essentially is this microbit that's sitting here, and it's connected via USB cable, and I have my NeoPixel strip connected on here. So if we go back to the desktop, the next thing is to actually see what COM port the microbit is connected on. So if I go to Device Manager, here's my Device Manager, and I look under ports, I see that it is COM port 8. So that is the COM port that is going to allow communication from the computer to the microbit. The next thing is we need to create a batch file for recording and for stopping the recording. So I've got essentially Notepad is what I opened. So if you open Notepad, in here you can put any text you want in there, and what you're looking to actually put in there are some commands for a batch file that will communicate. So the first is mode, and this essentially is setting our baud rate and a few other things specific to how many bits and whether we want parity. So these are really not important. Well, they're important to put in there, but don't need to get into it. But COM port 8 is the COM port I'm using. And then this command here is what will send the character R whenever this record batch file is executed. So I created one called record, and then I created another called record stop. So I'll open that one right here. So record stop, again, COM port 8. And the only difference is I'm sending a S on here. So the last thing is on the Stream Deck software. I just searched for open and have this icon open, which I drag in here, and then it asks me to select the file. So if I go to the desktop, I was able to grab one of those batch files right here. So that's all I did, is I created one for stop and one for start that opens the corresponding batch file. So all of that to be said, if we go back and look overhead, see if I can get the Stream Deck over top of here, so you can see that I've got one called start and one called stop. So if I hit the start, you can see it sends over the COM port the S for start. Stop sends the R for, or sorry, I guess the start sends an R for record, and S sends the S for stop. And my code executes on here because it receives that character, and you can actually see it blink this transfer LED on here. So that's a good indicator that you have serial data coming in. So that is how I have my Elgato Stream Deck controlling the microbit over USB. Good luck.